Okay. So you really do see an importance in interdisciplinary work. I believe in a previous conversation between us, you'd mentioned you still felt there's some silos among the disciplines, and it's somewhat hard to bridge those. This might be, again, a good transition to our last question. Thinking about interdisciplinarity in particular, some of the silos you've seen, for a young graduate student, or even an undergraduate who might want to do some work on religion in the future, what advice would you have, both practical, theoretical, big picture? Are there specific tools that should be used, conferences attended, approaches, attitudes, etc.?
Yeah.
What advice would you have?
So it's a humbling question, given that just finished.
I know,
now I need to
hey.
advise.
Now you're a doctor,
but, yeah.
Jason Klocek.
Exactly. I would give advice that I think builds on what we've talked about for the last 20 minutes or so. That one, think about your past and your history. It inevitably directs you to certain questions. So when students ask me, particularly undergraduates, should I go to graduate school? I often ask, what is your driving question? What's the thing you can't go without understanding? And if you don't have an answer to that, I think there are many other wonderful things you can do.
Sure.
But 7, 8, 9 years in a graduate program may not be for you,
yes.
right? So think about what really interests you about the world. And then think about where you could answer that best. So in terms of discipline, I talked about that a lot, but really emphasizing this interdisciplinary side of it. I would not be a good scholar of religion in political science if I only read political scientists. Yeah. And so while at Berkeley, I've taken advantage of talks and other opportunities at the Graduate Theological Union, here at the Berkeley Center for the Study of Religion, other talks, and Near Eastern Studies will do talks, policy-wise, Institute for International Studies. So think broadly. Yeah. Don't think, I think sometimes for graduate students, we are increasingly thinking in terms of output and career.
Yeah.
So we're thinking, what is this network of scholars I need to know well to get me to my next step? Yeah. If that's how you think about interdisciplinary research, you're not going to branch out more broadly. So other conferences, so someone in religious studies might think about going to the International Studies Association conference, which I go to annually, yeah. because there's a broad range of topics there, particularly in critical theory. Okay. I went to McGill University in March for a conference on religion and violence, and I was the only political scientist there. It was mostly the humanities were represented, and I think that's incredibly valuable because you get that exchange. So don't think so much, think about your professional network, but also think about the ideas that you want. So yeah, find things that you're really interested in exploring, that you really want to know, that aren't just trendy for you. And then find broad networks where you can encounter ways of looking at religion that you hadn't thought about. So in the end, that's the most interesting. That's why I keep coming back to study religion. Every time you think you have it figured out, there's another
something
angle.
else.
Yeah.
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 Anything else?
I think it's a good place to leave it. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. Jason, thank you so much for taking the time. Again, Jason Klocek just finished his PhD in political science at UC Berkeley. His dissertation is entitled The Cult of Coercion, Religion and Strategic Culture in British Counterinsurgency. We'll supply a link to Jason's website where you can read abstracts on his dissertation, his working papers, his published articles. And Jason is headed to Notre Dame, where he'll be a 2018-2020 Global Religion Research Initiative postdoctoral fellow. Jason, again, thank you.
Thank you very much.